Welcome back to Pokemon Fusion Rescue! I finally finished another plush. I was really looking forward to this one because I've had Koi's character in mind for a while now. I sure had enough time to think about it while Murphy's Law kicked in. Koi fish are bred for their color and patterns, and I find the white fish with a red circle very striking since it looks like the Japanese flag. I definitely wanted to give Koi a forehead circle. I don't know anything about fish breeding, but I do know a lot about dogs. Whenever people ask, is this dog purebred? I want to ask them if they know what line breeding is, which for dogs is usually where the great-granddaughter is bred back to her great-grandfather. Although that's not specifically always the case. Fun, right? Strategized inbreeding for all. This is the same Vaporeon pattern by Crafty Witch, just painted differently in Photoshop and printed out by Spoonflower onto low pile minky. I was inspired by this koi fish Vaporeon, all credit to the original artist. It was suggested to be a Galarian variant, and I have to agree. If they did a remake of all of the Eeveelutions as variants, people would lose their minds. Koi has random black and orange paw pads because I thought that was fun, and it added a lot to the character. I ran out of plastic joints and had my bank card replaced right around Christmas, so I was waiting a long time for them. I ended up doing all of the embroidery on the other plushes while I was waiting. All of it. Shy's ears were really floppy, so I wanted to try a more rigid edge for Koi's ears so they would stand up straight. Didn't really work, but there's always foam for next time. I use a basting stitch on my pieces because accuracy is kind of important with these printed elements. There's a back ridge that needs to be sewn into the body, so the basting stitch for 4 pieces is really helpful there. I put some jewelry wire into the body to see if I could make the tail posable, and it turned out really well. I'm glad I can add another little detail to the quality of these tiny plushes, although Koi's tail still droops, a show flaw perhaps, so I think I'll try foam next time. These were some tiny pieces to turn inside out, but once they reach this point, they're ready for their joint peg. I use an awl to punch a hole in the body straight through, then insert the awl in the body hole and punch a hole in the leg. That way things are more or less aligned. The joints have 3 pieces, the peg, the disc, and the anchor. The disc has a flat edge and a round edge. It's important for the flat edge to go against the peg and the rounded edge to go against the fabric. You want your peg to point inwards, towards the body, not outward. Just some tips for these kind of joints. I want to make some little berry plushes with magnets in them eventually, so I put a magnet in one of Koi's forelegs and her mouth, but it doesn't look like the magnet was strong enough. Koi is a color variation that causes genetic issues, similar to Blue Merle in some dog breeds. She was born with twisted forelegs and has a luxating patella in her right leg. Koi has grown up in the rescue since she was brought there to be rehabilitated. She was in treatment for nearly a year before she was able to walk on her own. Koi is in many ways the flagship Pokemon of the rescue, since she's instantly recognizable by her flashy tricolor coat. Koi cannot take physical hits in a fight without crippling her, so she's useless for battle. Her special attack is quite high, however, and as you can see, her strongest move is Blizzard. Koi has droopy ears and fins, a reminder of her weak development. She's good friends with Shy, often drawing her out of her shell to play or explore. Shy would admit Koi is her best friend, and tolerates Koi's exuberance and affection more than she does anyone else's. Her face turned out like a modern oriental cat or Siamese offshoot. I just thought that was really interesting because she looks so cat-like. And that about wraps it up for Koi. I do have some other Eeveelutions coming, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you next time.